All right, mate. How you doing? Welcome back to another IMO Live. Spencer here for another show. Second show. Last week was our first one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did as well. We've got lots to talk through today. In a minute, I'm going to introduce you to our guest for today. We've got the talking points from the weekend, including the big one, the mass debate, which you guys get involved in, of course. You're going to vote on it, and we're going to actually have a conclusion to it at the end of the show. We're going to be talking more about Super 6, our partners for this live show. We're going to be reviewing the predictions we made last episode and also making some more for the upcoming fixtures. Don't forget you can get involved in my Super 6 League. The details are in the description. Stand up for your club. Two comedians go head to head, fighting each other with their funny words and representing their team. We've got the hashtag challenge with a hashtag United player. We've got the IMO 11. Will a new player be inducted into that team? We're going to find out. We've got a Q&A at the end. So while you're using hashtag IMO Live to talk about the talking points we're going to discuss, also think about if there's anything else you want us to talk about at the end of the show. Put your questions in there using hashtag IMO Live. We were trending on Twitter last week. Let's see if we can do it again this week. Okay, now it's time to meet our two guests for today. We've got a special sofa lined up for today. We've got one of the biggest footballers, one of the strongest footballers in the world, and we've got Akinfenwa as well. How you doing, guys? Paul Nash from hashtag United. Obviously, I was describing Akin. It was a gag. It was clever. We've got Akinfenwa, officially the strongest player in football, of course. That's a title that I've given to you twice as well, yes, technically. We made videos about that.
Yes, you have.
Feeling strong?
Oh, come on, G. No, I am, man. I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong.
Good. That's good to hear. We'll talk more about how things are going for you, BMO and all that. Nasha, hashtag United player. Yep. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, mate. Yeah. Looking forward to this.
Thanks
for the big man. Look at him.
Just try and avoid any Faisal Manji mishaps where you say Mourinho's been the manager of United for 2 years.
That was a gaff, that.
That was awkward. But we moved on from it, and I feel like he grew from it, and everyone grew from it. It was good. Before we crack on, we're going to talk about NCS quickly, who partnered with us for this live stream. National Citizen Service. Do you guys know anything about this, NCS? I'm going to tell you about it, okay? NCS, first of all, they've got a hashtag in their logo, so they didn't forget to hashtag it, which is fantastic. They are the country's flagship youth programme for 15 to 17-year-olds. With them, you can embark on exhilarating challenges. You can build skills for your work and your life. You can have an adventure, learn new skills, new techniques, and obviously meet like-minded people. It's a great thing to do. That period in your life, you want to get some more experience, stick it on your CV, whatever. NCS is the place to go. There's a link in the description. Hashtag Year for Change is their campaign. They're trying to promote right now. It's all about making 2017 a big year for change. It was a big year for change for me. I wanted IMO Live to get on your screens, and we're doing it right now, so I'm really happy with that. I've changed things. Bio, anything you've been changing for 2017?
I would say cutting chicken, but I don't want to lie. So
I was thinking maybe you could take up the gym.
Nah, yeah, well, yeah, I've been What are you trying to say, bro? Let me see the arm and that. Let's just see the arm and that. You're coming for me, and I want to talk about your hair.
Yeah, let's talk about my hair. Yeah. Year for change. Maybe it's year for a haircut.
Cut your hair, bro. What's that?
You've got to give the hair some time. It's the awkward phase. It's the awkward phase.
Because what is it with y'all folks? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bell did it and then wrapped it. Like Harry Pell did it. That I know. What
Bale's doing quite well, mate. Bale's doing quite well.
Yeah.
People have often described me as a Bale-like player when they see me play.
Real?
But it was when he'd never won a game for Tottenham. That was when they said I was like Bale.
You lost a bet, personally, but it is what it is, though. So I'm cool for 2017.
What about you, Nash? You got any plans?
I mean, aside from going global with hashtag, then
exactly.
I think I need to, probably do less of the gym. Sitting here. I'm thinking I'm getting too beefcake for this. I need to cut down a little bit.
Less gym for Nash. All right, well, guys, make it your year for change with NCS. Check out the link in the description. Loads of cool stuff you can get involved in. Basically, you can change your life, guys. NCS, check them out. Right, we're going to move on, guys, onto my first talking point of today's show. Okay, this isn't the mass debate. The mass debate will be coming up later. This is the first thing for us to talk about. You guys can get involved in the conversation. Use the hashtag IMO Live. Tweet your thoughts on what we're going to discuss, and we'll pick out the best ones and actually chat about them on the show. First thing I want to talk about, something that happened in football yesterday, got a lot of attention, Ryan Mason's injury, okay? Now, there isn't much of a debate here. It was a bad thing that happened. No one wants to see that happen to Ryan. All our thoughts, of course, are with him, who the update is great. He's made a decent recovery already. He's talking about what happened and stuff, so he's in stable condition, which is fantastic, okay? The thing I want to talk about is within that, and particularly come to you, Bio, here as a professional footballer yourself, who I don't know if you've ever had any issues with head injuries or anything. First of all, Gary Cahill was involved in that collision, right? Yes. My first question for you is, He obviously was involved with it, came off a lot better than Ryan did.
Yeah.
Still was involved in that collision, so his head suffered a lot of trauma within that. That's undeniable.
Yeah.
They made a decision to let him play on. You know, we've got to think about things like concussion and how that can affect you.
Yep.
Even though a player's always going to be like, I want to play on, we expect that.
Yeah.
He ended up scoring a goal. So from a football perspective, fantastic decision. But from a moral argument, from a medical standpoint, was it the right thing to let Gary play on after what we saw happen to Ryan?
Well, it comes down to, even now, it's the doctors. The doctors know more than us. So the doctors will basically say if they feel like he can come on the pitch again.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, I've been in it where you can hit somebody and it's where you hit them. So where it hit Ryan to where it hit Gary would have been, of course, less of an impact on on Gary Cahill, if you get what I'm saying. So, but then it all boils down, the doctors have got years of medical experience, and if they deem it to be like, look, you know, it's uncertain, because the funny thing is we had that, the game before last, our centre-back, Anthony Stewart, landed on his head, thought he was good. Doctor gave him the AOK to come back on, and you could see within a couple minutes he wasn't really himself, got caught in the lights and that, and then the doctor said, look, you know what, you need to come off. So it's basically down to the doctors, because players are always going to say they want to carry on. Do you know what I'm
Yeah, of
saying?
course, you bet that. You've got to trust the doctors.
Yeah.
Chelsea haven't got a great experience of trusting doctors.
I know.
But things have changed there, of course. But ultimately, the main thing is that everyone's okay. There's been other instances, of course, with head injury. Petr Cech obviously had also a fractured skull, same injury that's happened to Ryan. He had a difficult period immediately following that injury. Obviously made a full recovery, but plays in a helmet now. Rich Beck, #United player, you actually christened this guy the Man Mountain. I don't know if you remember that in the game.
Oh, my guy. What
the Man Mountain. Well, he actually suffered a concussion in a game we played last weekend in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
Didn't actually mention this in the video because we didn't know until the time of recording that. He actually didn't get to go to work all of last week. He's still having issues with seeing triple in some cases. Can't concentrate on stuff, although he was never great on concentrating before that. But he's still suffering from concussion. So this is not always something that goes away after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's very important to take it seriously. Good friend of the show, Jimmy Conrad, ex-US men's national team player, played in the Wembley Cup, of course, played for #once. A lot of people don't know this, we chatted to him off camera to get his permission to talk about it, very kindly gave it to us. He actually had to retire early from football because of concussion injuries. He's given us some quotes, I don't know if we can get up on the screen to talk about, but he had some instances where he was suffering repeat concussions, and he said, I think, ever since the first concussion he got, every time after that, he found himself more easily concussed.
Okay.
And it ended up being such a big impact on his life that he had to make the decision to retire because he didn't think it was worth. You know, there's more important things than football. He's got a family to worry about. What happens if that next collision is the one that really? And I don't know if you've seen the film Concussion. That made me really think about how long term you might feel like you're okay then, but 20 years later it can actually do the sort of damage to the brain, which is pretty serious. So the first thing I want to talk about here really was Gary Cahill. Was it right for him to stay on? We are going to get the Jimmy Conrad quote on now so we can actually read word for word what he said. He said, I got hit very similarly and was never the same afterwards. I didn't fracture my skull, but I got concussions a lot easier afterwards. I just wish I'd stopped playing after I took my big hit instead of trying to push through it like a man, which is what you're talking about. Players often are going to try and do the right thing. There's so much more to life than kicking a ball around with other grown men in small shorts, but I wish him the very best in his recovery, and I urge extreme patience by him and his support team when deciding to come back and play. So that's an important thing. Thank you for Jimmy for sharing that quote. There's a link to Jimmy in the description. Do you think the most important thing now, obviously for Ryan, is just taking his time, getting back in?
100%. And he did say something about the patience, and sometimes you as an individual can be your worst own enemy. You know, you want to get back on the pitch, you want to get back playing. So patience is, and hindsight's a beautiful thing. He knows now, you know. At the time, he's like, nah, you know what, it's cool, and football's meant to be a macho sport. But at the same time, you're like, look, I'm okay. I want to do something I love. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but patience is the key. And
on the converse side, we heard talks about, I think it might have been Van Basten. I know Van Basten was talking about a lot of strange things he wants to bring into football, some of which better than others, but there was some talk about getting rid of heading in football, and I think that's definitely a bridge too far. I think it's a big part of the game.
That means my game's done.
You've got no chance.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I can't score goals no more.
You know what? That brings me quite nicely onto our second talking point. Andy Carroll. Now, obviously, I'm a West Ham fan, and the whole point of doing this IMO Live and incorporating other people's opinions was that sometimes as much as I'll try my best, I won't be able to be neutral. So I want to hand this one over to you guys. I'm going to say what I think, but then you guys can have the debate. Andy Carroll's banging them in right now, okay? Yeah. 2 goals in the weekend. Massive, amazing goal against Crystal Palace last week. Should Andy Carroll be in the England squad? Here's my thoughts on it before I hand over to you guys. I think, and I love to say I think this is a football fan, not a West Ham fan, but I think as an England fan, Andy Carroll represents something that no one else in England has. As a 4th option, never as a starter, I'm not saying he should start, but as a 4th option in the squad, being able to come off the bench, in my opinion, the best header of the ball in world football. Definitely one of them when he's fit. And we hear there's a lot of fitness issues, so I'm not hiding away from that. If he's able to play, and he's in scoring form like he is, I'm putting him in my England squad every single time. But are you guys? Nash, let's go to you first.
I mean, as you say, if he's on form and he's fit, then he'd go in as maybe 3rd or 4th striker. I'm not a huge fan of that sort of football in terms of like, I mean, being a United fan, I'm stuck with Fellaini and having to launch it up to him, but he can have an impact. That header against Middlesbrough at the weekend was an absolute bullet.
He scored a great one for England once as well in the Euros. He did. It was against Sweden.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd have him in there, especially if he's proven his fitness over a number of weeks. And I just see how he does with that. But if there's any sort of doubt about it, I'd probably leave him out.
All right, don't forget to get your thoughts in. Hashtag IMOLIVE on Twitter, guys. Bio, you are a striker who, obviously different physiologically to Carroll. He's taller, you're more wider. Basically, you're about as wide as he is tall. But what you represent is something similar to Andy, which is a lot of the reason I think managers have been so fond of you over the years is you offer something that no one else in the league offers, let's face it. Yeah. That physical strength, that different side of football, which, yes, sometimes isn't the easiest on the eye. Sometimes people don't, it's not their favourite way of playing football, but you've got to play to your strengths as a country. You know all about this. How important is it to have a big man option?
Okay, I'm going to jump in. Let me ask you a question first, Nash.
Yeah, for it.
You're a United fan. Okay, so I'll give you 2 options. Would you rather not win the league but play the best football, or would you rather win the league and whatever it takes to win the league, you would win it? What would you take?
Yeah, I'll go win in the league.
Okay, so this is where I don't get. So you made a statement saying you brought Fellaini on and it was up to him, but before that you would have lost the game 1-0 if it wasn't for Fellaini. That's what I'm a Liverpool supporter, and you lot went back to front, which was therefore something that Liverpool couldn't really defend at that time. You went back to front, so you would have rather have got the point out of the game, yes or no?
Well, I would have taken the fact that we've got Ibrahimovic on who could do that role, and you could have other people.
But it shows that it was. It showed. So even what Ibra brings, it showed to break down Liverpool at that time. Fellaini needed to come on.
I don't know.
You don't know how much he hates Fellaini. He hates.
Oh,
Fellaini.
wrong.
I mean, this is you cannot break me down on this. I would rather.
Wait.
I'm sure we would have found another way of breaking down and getting a point in that game.
Oh, right.
We would have still got away into it.
Let me come back to you know what makes you laugh, right? Don't get twisted. I'm a massive Harry Kane fan, and I think probably Harry Kane's at the moment England striker. You know what I'm saying? So I give that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's about form, and Carroll at the moment is on job. He's fit, he's strong. So even when people say that, oh, you know what, I'll put him in the squad for 4th. If he's on form, play him.
I mean, we've got some fantastic strikers, right? Kane and Vardy scored a bag load of goals last year. But look at the Euros. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah.
I'm telling you one thing. If we'd had Andy Carroll on the bench against Iceland, that game would have gone differently.
Yeah, see,
if you brought him on, they would not have liked it.
Put Defoe in there as well.
See, of course, for me, I'm with you in the sense where, look, I'm not the typical mould of centre forward. So I think that and managers, you need to have a plan A, B, C. Yeah. You've got to have that. So why bring 4 similar strikers?
Exactly.
For me, makes no sense.
That, for me, on a different note, is where Pep Guardiola's struggling. We talked about it last week. He hasn't got a plan B at the moment.
Yeah.
He's sticking to plan A. We've got some tweets to look at on the Andy Carroll situation. So we get them up and see what everyone's thinking using the hashtag IMOLive. Josh Bridgman has said, do you think Andy Carroll can keep his current form? Okay, so that's a good question, because we're saying if he's on form, you pick him. Maybe another question is he going to stay on form? Is he going to keep banging goals in? I mean, he's never been a goal-a-game kind of striker. That's not his... I wouldn't say if you take Carroll...
Down to his fitness.
You get a goal.
That's what I think.
But it's all...
West Ham are a team who are going to put a lot of balls into the box well. You've got good deliveries from Antonio, Lanzini, I think, put a decent corner in. Cresswell's got a good left peg on him.
The thing is, though, like, equally, but going back to the point we talked about a big man, you're not always, look at Emil Heskey, you're not necessarily judged on goals. Of course, goals are a huge part of it, but Carroll can win the knockdowns, which opens up the play.
So straight away, this is what's going to, we're not saying what's going to happen, but because he is on form, therefore people start worrying, so they double up on him. So therefore, spaces, like you said, should then arise for other strikers. So it's not the direct from him scoring. If he stays fit, it's him being effective. Yeah. And that's basically where it is. It's about a team. So as long as he can affect the game, so but if that's him scoring, that's him taking two defenders away, so there's other spaces. For me, it's, look, as long as he stays fit and effective, I think Carroll, no matter what, will be effective. You know, you can't, if you're that good in the air and you put crosses in, he's going to be effective. It don't matter who he plays against.
It will be interesting to see, because Big Sam was the thing that was going to give Carroll the shout for England. Obviously, with Big Sam now not in the job, is Southgate that way inclined? We've got one more tweet to have a look at on the Carroll situation. This is from Liam. He says, is Carroll the best English aerial player? Well, I think he's the best in the world, and I genuinely mean that. I think in terms of a striker, target man, I mean, feel free to disagree with me on this. Who is a better target man up front? Like, you mentioned Zlatan, he's great at that job, but he's not. I don't think he's better at that than Carroll.
See, a target man. See, I think there's different aspects to target man. I think his touch is cool. I think how great does he bring others in? I think aerial. To that question, aerial. I think there's not many, especially in the Prem. There's not many better than him coming across. You put that ball, you hang time, and he's coming across. Yeah. And he attacks.
You don't want to. I mean, defending against Andy Carroll's
the best at attacking it, but you've still got players not that you necessarily bring back in the team. But you've got Crouch, who's 6'7". He's still very good in the air, and he probably actually has a better sort of way of bringing players in around him, like take it down, lay it off. And that obviously still score goals,
I think for
attacking it, you're probably right.
Carroll's got a little bit more about him,
Carroll's up there
in terms of power than Crouch.
Though.
Crouch is fantastic.
Massively.
He's got a few inches on Carroll, but yeah, I think a full fit Carroll running at you is the thing defenders are going to have nightmares about.
100%.
Let's move on to the mass debate, guys. It's the big one we need to get you guys involved on. Don't forget to click the I button in the top right on the screen. You can have a vote on this at the end of the show. We'll look at those votes and we will have an answer to this question. Also, on an England sort of tangent, the mass debate this week is: he's just beaten a world record for the most goals ever scored for Manchester United. He's already scored the most goals of all time for England. Is Wayne Rooney the best England player of all time? Okay. I'm gonna I think, go with the controversial choice here, and I'm gonna say yes. Okay. I think there's gonna be a lot of people not liking that in the comments right now, and I can understand what you're gonna say. For me, the only people that get close to Rooney are the 1966 players, and we can talk about this more. People that won the World Cup. And then, I mean, Bobby Charlton, he nicked both Bobby Charlton's records, both Man United and England goal scoring. Yes, Rooney's never won anything for England. Yes, apart from maybe his first Euros tournament, he's not been unbelievable at tournaments, but he scored the most goals ever. He's done it over a long career, sure, and some people will use that against him and say, oh, he's had 16 years to do it or whatever. Yes, he's had 16 years playing at the highest level for club and country, for a world-class football team, Manchester United, and for England, not a world-class football team. But the point is, it's not easy to play for 16 years at the top flight. Not everyone can do it, Bio. Right? So...
What? Okay.
No, I'm kidding. But the point is, I've said my piece. I think I'm going to say, and maybe I'm being a little bit favouritism towards him because he's in my generation and I've seen him, whereas I haven't seen some of the other guys you may throw out there, I don't know. Wayne Rooney is the best England player ever. Guys, what are you saying?
Can I go first, Bio?
Do you know what? I'm telling you, I'm kind of agreeing with you. You know what? You lot can come at me and Spencer, but for me, I kind of give it. Don't get it twisted. It's like, you know, I was younger. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Gascoigne and what he can do. You know, I'm them man Gary Lineker and that. But when you're talking about somebody who scored the most goals for England, and I know there's friendlies where it racks up, but
everyone has them.
No, you know what I'm saying, and you can only beat who's in front of you, and score goals. So for me, exactly, playing at the top level for that amount of time, breaking records, you know what? I'm sorry, I got to kind of give it to you as well.
Wow.
Like, not because the people that won the World Cup was before my time.
Yeah,
as
of
well.
course.
So it was before my time. So I'm the same. Rooney's in my generation.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm a big West Ham fan. I got Bobby Moore in my IMO 11, but I didn't personally see him that much. I've seen a lot of recordings of him and whatnot, and I think he's a fantastic player. And I probably am being a little bit biased because Rooney was in my lifetime, but Rooney's record breaking is undeniable. And we're going to go to a Manchester United fan now, but are we going to get a Manchester United fan's response?
I mean, when you first put it out there, I thought he's probably, you have that little doubt about him. But then the more I think back about, past England players, like I can't actually think of one that probably comes close to him in those terms of what he's given the country, the fact he's always available to play. He's the record goal scorer for United, and without the sort of nostalgic, looking back to them World Cup winners, say Sir Bobby Charlton, who mainly a midfielder scored all those goals.
Yeah.
The other players that you could consider greats like Gascoigne, you've got Scholes, who they never really produced for England. Say Scholes didn't. Obviously Gascoigne did pretty well, but
he did for a period of time.
But there wasn't that longevity which Rooney's probably given England or United as a whole. So the more you think about it, you actually can't come up with someone who's really going to knock him off that top spot.
The only person I'm thinking, you mentioned him, Gary Lineker. He did win a Golden Boot at World Cup, which is not something English players do very much.
Yep.
He did get to a semi-final with England, as did Gaza. Not something Wayne Rooney's ever done. But for me, they're one-off things. Not one-off things, because Gary Lineker's the third top goal scorer for England, but they're one moment in time that we're using, whereas what Rooney's done over more than a decade, I think it edges it for him.
I don't think you can judge necessarily top players these days on just World Cups or Euros and that. You look at Messi; he's undoubtedly amazing, but he's never won a World Cup. And is his whole legacy going to be defined by the fact, Pele, won a couple of World Cups?
Not really. My thing is, it's what astounds me and it's mind-boggling is the doubt people are giving Rooney.
I think it's disgraceful.
Honestly, and they just disregard what he's done and what he keeps doing and what you've got to keep doing to stay at the top. I didn't get anywhere near Rooney, and I know how hard it is being in the lower leagues. So let alone be in the elite, constantly and knowing what's on your shoulders, and to do that and be around the players that we've had. With the the Scholes, the Beckhams, the Lampards, but yet still, even when he came in, to be at the forefront and keep being at the forefront. For me, it's the way people's mindset is. I'm like,
what? I think a lot. There was a good debate about it on TV the other day. I think a lot of it's because of social media, and he's had to deal with that in his career, and players like Bobby Moore and Gary Lineker never had to deal with that. Yeah. Everyone's got a voice now. Everyone wants to, particularly trolls and stuff like this online, want to take the mick out of someone. What will be interesting to me will be if we look at Rooney the same way in 10, 15 years and we haven't got him anymore. I think more of the population will look back at him fondly. But we are going to find out at the end of today's live show whether you guys have agreed with us. Is Wayne Rooney the best England player of all time? Don't forget to vote. Click on the I button now. We've got some tweets on the matter. Should we see what some people have been saying about Wayne Rooney? This is from Smithy Plays. He says, I think Rooney is the best player for England, but we haven't had a good manager to take us to a tournament. That's a very good take us to a tournament win. That's a very good point, because when we're talking about not winning tournaments and things like this, you can't blame that on an individual. It's not Rooney's fault. Yeah, he might not have contributed as much as he would have liked to at said tournaments, but he's part of a squad of players. He's got a manager making decisions, some of which have been diabolical at times. You can't pin a player's career on decisions that have affected a team of players. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. To be fair, I never blame Rooney in that sense. I do think that it's collective, both managerial and players, because ultimately I'm a player, and I've had managers which sometimes I'm like, I think your decisions are wrong, and sometimes their decisions have been right and we haven't stepped up to the plate. So, I think it works both ways. So to turn around and say England ain't had a good manager, but my only thing with England going through it, I always felt that they picked names rather than rather than a team. I think sometimes, when there was a debate about, Lampard and Rooney, they was Lampard and Gerrard very similar, and it was always trying to fit players into a team rather than create a team, and then knowing if it's not going right, I don't think there's anything better when you look over to your bench and think, you know what, right, look who we've got to come on to change the game. And I just felt that was a problem, and if that's of course that's managerial because they're picking a team sort of thing, but I just think it works both ways. I think, and players know, they can look at themselves and know they've underachieved, and I think certain England players will turn around in tournaments and say, for what we do week in, week out, who they play with, when they go to tournaments, that some of them sometimes they have underachieved.
Yeah, definitely. I think Wayne Rooney recently has been on the receiving end of that being picked as a name, probably. And we'd all agree he's not at his prime now. He's not doing it week in, week out. But we're talking about a whole career here. I think we've got one more tweet to look at here on this matter. Kane Ward says, no, Bobby Moore all day long won us the World Cup. And again, obviously, you're talking to a West Ham fan here, so I'm a big Bobby Moore fan. It's been ingrained into us growing up. I think Bobby Moore's fantastic from what I know and what he did. Unbelievable captain. in a one-off occasion of England winning a World Cup. But again, it's part of a squad. We can't give one man the credit for it. Yep. If Rooney had won the World Cup, we couldn't give him the credit for it. We'd have to give it to the squad and to the manager. But the hardest thing with this is the amount of time that's passed. More than 50 years now, you know, it's how different a game were they playing. They weren't the same athletes. They weren't professional. The professionalism of the game wasn't there. The diet wasn't there. The way they approached it, I mean, the whole Messi versus Pele or whatever, you can't do it. Yeah, Messi versus Ronaldo, we can compare them all day long. But the 50 years apart, guys, it's one or the other for me. You can't really... It's about generations. I think if you sit here with some guys 20, 30, 40 years older than us, they'll tell us how Bobby Moore was 10 times better than any centre-back that's played since. But likewise, we'll say that our generation are playing more professional football.
But my only, not disagreement, but, you know, I've had managers who have had players from back in the day, seen players from back in the day, been around modern football and say, look, it don't matter what era, certain players will be able to play in any era.
Right.
So, you know, they'll turn a baller's a baller. Do you know what I'm saying? And like anything, like a baller can play at any time. So that's another one. I'm with you on that. I'm like, well, it's hard, man. It's like, I think it's moved quicker from 10 years ago when I was at Swansea. So I feel like the game's changed and, you know, the levels and everybody's trying to get, rather than, you know, on your days off, you wouldn't do nothing. People are now doing stuff on days off, so they're taking care of themselves even more. And I feel like you've seen the change, so let alone 20 years ago and 30 years ago. So that's me being in the game. But again, there's different people that have said, well, look, ballers are ballers. They can play at any time, any generation.
We've got some unbelievable ballers coming up in the IMO 11 later we'll talk about. But yeah, that's the Wayne Rooney masturbate finish. Don't forget to have your vote. Click the I button. Is Rooney the best England player ever? Now then, Paul Nash, it's time for you to do the hashtag challenge. Okay? We did this last week with Faisal Manjdog Manji. I don't know if you saw it, but I'll tell you what it is. We've got all the hashtag boys to do this challenge. It starts off, you have to run around a football pitch, so just under 400 metres, full pace, sprinting. You get back to where you started. You then have to jump over 5 hurdles. You then have to dribble a ball in between 10 cones. And then you have to score a goal. So you're quite tired at this point. You've got a goalkeeper there as well. Every time you hit a hurdle or miss a cone, you add 5 seconds to your time. And then if you don't score your shot, you add 15 seconds to your time. But the ball stays in play until it's either in the back of the net, in the keeper's hands, or off the pitch. So there's a keeper. But
he's massive as well. He's good.
For example, if he spills it, you can have the rebound shot. It's like you're in play. Manjdog Manager did it last week. He did okay. You should take a look at the leaderboard and see what score Faisal got actually, so we can see what Nash is trying to beat. Faisal got 137.64. That's with the 15-second penalty because he missed his shot. Okay, he didn't hit a cone or miss a hurdle. He did well on that front, but he did miss his shot. Nash, where are you thinking you're going to come? Do you think you can beat Manji?
I mean, the 15-second time penalty has probably gone in my favour there. If it was just flat out pace involved in that, I'm not catching him. But am I a better finisher than Manji?
Can you score? That's the question. Should we find out? What do you reckon? Let's have a prediction. Is Nash going to beat that score?
Nah, mate.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Nash.
No, you're right, mate. Don't worry.
We had to come make it kind of nice.
Right,
yeah, the audience. I get it, yeah. Nice.
For the audience, they jeered me, I know. Okay.
Right, let's have a look at Paul Nash's hashtag challenge. Good luck, Paul.
Cheers, mate.
Here we go. We're going to get
you marked. Get set. Go.
Okay, so he's just taken off.
Oh, you've slowed it down.
No, that's real time. That's real time. What do you think of his technique, Bio?
Yeah, that's cool. God. Oh, did you say we're jogging around or the
Yeah, well, I think they've slowed it down. I was definitely going. Felt quicker than that, tell you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm talking big talk, but you lost me on this.
That looks pretty casual, right?
I was trying to conserve energy. I thought, it's a big old pitch here.
No, I see
it's starting to blow now. The sun's in your eyes as well. I'm thinking.
You're halfway at this point. You're halfway around the pitch.
Oh, I'm dying.
Almost 200 metres to go.
Yeah.
What's going through your head? You're about to go past the Jacko goal.
I mean, I was thinking, I just hope he's, kind to me. And he was. He actually said some nice words of encouragement, which probably put me off, actually, Jacko.
Little whip symbol. There's the goalkeeper you're going to have to try and score past in a minute.
Yeah,
You've nearly finished the run.
Oh, I'm blowing here.
Explain to me how your legs are feeling when you get to the hurdles.
I mean, they're feeling pretty heavy at this point. I'm not confident. I'm only strong 5'8", so getting over that is like jumping over a 10-foot wall.
I think it's his first hurdle. And I think the second one you decide...
Yeah, not for me. Not for me.
That's 5 seconds.
You missed it. Everyone was like, ah! Like laughing. I was like, I can't do that. I was like,
that's a 5 second penalty for that.
Luckily, I'll take the 5 seconds. But luckily, I'm an absolute dribbling king.
Yeah, let's
slow that down as well, I see.
No, that's real.
Cheers, guys. Left and right, left foot, right foot. Don't you worry about that. See, both.
Right, but are you going to score though? Because it's 15 seconds if you don't score.
Well, the sun was in my eyes here. I couldn't really see what I was doing.
It's rebounding.
Oh, he's missed.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, I gave him the chance. Look, I'm dead at the end of it as well.
How knackered are you there?
He's already celebrating. I like that.
Right. How knackered are you when you
I'm
had to
knackered
feel
watching it.
That rebound.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to make it? Like,
Well, you know what? With the sun being in mind, I thought actually I couldn't really see the ball, so I thought I'm going in here. I wasn't sure we're going to make contact, but
you did well. You got the goal.
thankfully.
But you got a 5-second penalty.
I did.
So it's all about how fast you did it, really, because you need to be within sort of 5 seconds of that time to have a chance of taking the top spot on the leaderboard. Having seen it now, Bio, do you think he's going to go top?
I actually think he's going to go top. I'm proud of the finish.
Cheers, mate. Look at this man. What a man.
Well, guys, it's time to reveal Nash's score. Do you think you've done it?
I mean, yeah, I still think I've got 10 seconds, even with my 5 there.
You think you're
Yeah,
fast enough?
I've done Manji there.
Let's take a look. Is Nash the new man on top of the leaderboard? Has he beaten Faisal Manji? He has! He's gone top! Decent.
Thank you.
1 minute 28.95. That's with the 5-second penalty. So you actually made it round in about 1-2-3, 1-2-4, which is about a second slower than Faisal.
See?
But his penalty killed him. His missed shot absolutely did him. So you're now top of the leaderboard. And next week we'll find out if someone can knock Nash off the top. But well done. Very well done.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, guys.
We're going to move on to IMO 11 now, Bio. This is a squad that we're building over time. We started off last episode. I populated it with 11 of my favourite players of my lifetime, or people I've watched, people that have inspired me. Not necessarily the best 11 in the world. Then, each time a guest comes on, they get to propose a player to take a spot. Okay, so that team last week had Michael Owen in it. And then True Geordie came in and said, I want to put Alan Shearer in for Michael Owen. The guys at home get to vote if that swap happens. You guys agreed. I think 90% of you wanted Michael Owen out there. I think was for BT Sport commentary reasons, not for footballing reasons. But obviously Alan Shearer is fantastic as well. So this is the team we're looking at. Let's go from the back again. We've got Buffon in goal, fantastic goalkeeper. We've got Roberto Carlos, Maldini, Bobby Moore has been talked about, Cafu, an unbelievable back four, pretty hard to improve, I feel. We've got a diamond of Pirlo, Davids, Zidane and Del Piero, all of which played for Juventus at some point, interestingly. And then we've got Paolo Di Canio, West Ham hero of mine, and Alan Shearer up top. Don't forget, guys, in a minute, Bio's going to suggest someone that could take a spot, but you've got to decide whether they get that spot. Again, you can do that by clicking the I button in the top right-hand corner of the video. So, first impressions on the team, Akinfenwa.
Oh, impressed. It don't really get much better than that. Of course I know about Bobby Moore. I know about him, but
didn't see him much.
Didn't really see much of him. So, but I know what he done and what he achieved. I saw all these play.
Did he? Those ones you ever got to play against any of them? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, Davids, yes, because he played for Barnet, was it? For
got him relegated. Sorry,
got him really?
I'm sorry. The love's still strong, my brother.
So what was he like? Because he would have been towards the end of his career, of course. But was he still?
Was good.
Yeah.
We played him 2 games. The first game at Barnet, he ran the show. He played the bottom of the diamond and just ran the show. I was at Northampton. We got to the playoff final that year, and we was on the run of a 12-game unbeaten. Went to Barnet, who were bottom, and then he taught us a lesson. Beat us 4-1.
So a worthy player for the team then?
No, I'll give that, and especially, in his day as well, Juventus at Holland, you know what I'm saying? I think he was at Ajax, he was that guy sort of thing. Pirlo, he's a maestro. I think Zidane's one of the best.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you got someone in there you'd like to replace?
Yeah, to be fair, it's a bit shocking that, especially you talk about our generation, there's no Messi, there's no Ronaldo, there's no Iniesta.
I kind of deliberately left out Messi and Ronaldo, to be honest, because I wanted to go, I think they're obvious, someone's going to put them in eventually. I wanted someone that meant something more to me.
Yeah.
Michael Owen was a big hero for me when I was growing up, first getting into football, what he was doing at '98 World Cup and stuff. Yeah. And then as a West Ham fan to Kenya, I didn't expect those guys necessarily to stay in the team for too long. Who are you going to replace?
Yeah, so to be fair, Del Piero was marked, especially when football was on, Italian football.
Yeah, we talked about this, the goal Lazio.
Goal Lazio, Del Piero, and did the Del Piero turn, he's that guy.
Yeah.
But I'll have to put in John Barnes.
John Barnes.
I've got to put in John
Tell
Barnes.
me why. Obviously, Liverpool fan.
Liverpool fan. Reason why I supported Liverpool. I don't know if y'all see John Barnes' goal against Brazil for England. It was.
They thought he was Brazilian, right? That was the thing. Like a Brazilian player.
He was that guy, the maestro. And even when towards the end of his career, when they were talking about he was too big, people try to say that about me. Don't know why, but even that he was still just running the show. John Barnes is that guy. and out of all the people I still haven't met him to date. So
You got to meet John
I
Barnes.
know. So yo, JB,
You're watching, John.
hey, not Justin Bieber, John Barnes, JB, hit me up.
John Barnes, get in touch. IMO Live.
Yeah.
That's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Get involved in it.
Hit
It's
me up
good
on
act.
WhatsApp. You get me? I'll put John Barnes in, and I'll have to take out. So I'll put Del Piero at the top, take out Di Canio, put John Barnes.
Formation changes.
Okay, all right, so let's be clear what's being proposed here.
Yeah.
Adebayo Akinfenwa of Wickham would like to replace Paolo Di Canio with John Barnes. That replacement has not happened yet. It's on you guys to decide,
Hey,
okay?
don't play with me.
You
Hey,
need to tell us
don't play with me.
if you think he can make the team. So get voting. We're going to reveal this very shortly, okay?
Come on, G.
What we're going to do is we're going to do some stickers. Well, I'll explain what we're going to do with the stickers. I'm just not going to do stickers. And then we'll reveal what's going on with Paolo Di Canio. Because you've got a few minutes to vote, guys. Paolo Di Canio for John Barnes, yes or no?
Oh,
Let us know,
snap.
right?
Your fans, and they like West Ham. Oh, I've seen what I've just did now. Okay, it's okay.
No
I know.
nepotism.
I know what's just going to happen now.
Right. Here's what we're going to do with some stickers, guys. I've got a selection of different stickers here. We've got Euro 2016 stickers.
Yeah.
We've got Premier League 96, a little bit of old school. We've got Premier League 2013. We've got all sorts. What's this one? 95, okay.
Where's the Football League stickers?
We've got the current Football League stickers were not available. They're sold out. Everyone wanted a.
Oh, I was going to say, okay, say no more.
I want you both to pick a pack. You're going to open a pack. You're going to tell us who you've got in there. You're going to pick one player from that pack, and we're going to add it to the wall here. And slowly over the IMO live shows, we're going to populate this wall with stickers. Okay. So, Bayer, which pack do you want? 2017 Euros, 2016. We've got 95, 96.
Let me go 96.
96. All right. Premier League 96. It's got Hullet and a Wimbledon player. I'm not sure who that is. I don't know if you know.
Let me see.
On the front.
Yeah, that's the big centre off. He was the Luton manager. I can't remember his name now.
Helpful. Nash, who do you want for your pack, mate?
Have a little look. Who have we got in here then?
Got 2013 in there with is that Podolski on the cover of that?
I don't fancy that one.
Got 20. What's this one? 2007-8. Got Van Persie, Rooney, Terry, Owen in a Newcastle shirt, and Fernando Torres on that one.
I'll just go take this one here.
You're gonna go
Premier League stickers, 2007, 2008.
Lovely selection. Right, if you'd like to open your pack. You never open stickers like that, Bio. Did you never collect stickers? Let me show you how you do it. Nash, you go across the top like so, then you do not damage any stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's like this. This guy's got no etiquette.
Sorry,
Right, tell us who you got. Bloody hell.
I know, man. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. He got very passionate.
I am a man that likes the stickers. You see my backdrop at home, mate? It's covered in them.
Anyway, I'm going to say that. He's going to fight me, man.
I'm not that stupid.
I've got Neil Henney.
Let's have a look. Neil Henney.
Oh!
Neil
Who'd I get? Look, let
got?
me tell you something, people. This, when I say that it was meant to be, who'd I get? One sec. BAM!
No!
Come on, G! Come on! I'm done for you. Damn, come on.
What are the chances of that?
Because the chances are real.
He's just packed John Barnes.
John Barnes, that's coming on with me. No, that's going on there.
Do you realise what pack you got? 95. We've got like more than one 1995 pack as
meant
well.
to be,
The chances
man.
you get. So you're obviously going to put him on the wall.
Oh, 100%.
Who else you got in
to
there?
me.
Other
I've got
rejects.
Dean Holdsworth.
Dean Holdsworth's Wimbledon, isn't he?
Yeah.
Dean
Neville
Holdsworth.
Southall.
Oh, look, can we have a look at that face? Can we
I
have the
know.
close-up on that?
Look at
That
that.
is a power. That is a Zoolander.
Come on now. That's like, what's the Zoolander? That's it, the
Blue Steel.
That's it, Blue
Dean
Steel.
Holdsworth not making it on the wall though.
Neville Southall.
Neville Southall, Jacko, goalkeeper for hashtag, said he's his inspiration, Neville Southall.
Gary Pallister.
Gary Pallister,
Your guy,
Man United
man.
legend.
true,
You would have
right.
liked
He is
him.
a legend.
Not going to make it.
And these are just two people that are trying to. It's an action shot. That looks like Kevin
action
Campbell. What was that when he was at Forest? I don't know the guys in front of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Man City and Arsenal player, I'm not sure who they are, but they're not going to make it. You're going to go John Barnes.
John Barnes.
So, would you like to apply him to the wall? Do you know how to get the stick?
No, come on, school
It's a
me.
simple 3-touch swipe. You go bang, you go bang. The problem with the old ones is actually they might have lost their stickiness. So you got to just get it. There you go. Try and apply it. We might have to use some sellotape. Try and apply that to the wall for us. Any way you'd like below the TV. Nash, let's have a look at your pack.
I think I've got a dud pack, personally.
Oh dear. Who you
Start
got?
off with Middlesbrough's George Boateng.
George Boateng of Middlesbrough. Okay.
He's an option,
Is he
I
going to
suppose.
make it? I don't know.
Got Arteta from his Everton days.
Okay. Arteta, Everton.
I've got rather laughable Gavin McCann. Look at that haircut and that
Bolton.
dive.
A lot of these teams aren't even
He's
in the Prem
not
anymore.
getting there, personally. Then I've got a little bit of a mix-up here. I've got No Pamaro, old
Ooh.
Pompey defender.
Portsmouth is a nice touch. That's been a while.
And also, then you've got a double for your money here, Adebayor and Benjani.
Okay, Benjani, another Portsmouth player.
Now, I'm going to go with a Pompey player, as I went to university down there. Unfortunately, Benjani went off to City.
Yes.
So I'm not
You're
going to be
United
having
fan.
Benjani.
Understandable.
So,
Barnes is gone, by the way. Barnes is gone.
he?
We'll use the other sticker to attach him. We'll do it in a minute.
It's going to be
not
no,
my first one.
no Pamero going in.
Pamero Pompey, you've gone because you went to uni down there, you say?
Because I went to
Pompey.
uni, I had to pick a Pompey player.
That's
And
cool.
unfortunately, Benjani scored in the Manchester derby as well,
Okay.
which...
That's cool. Football League, I told you, man.
Decent stickers, man.
That's
John
Football
Barnes.
League, thank you.
We'll attach these here. I'll go like that, and then I'll just go like that, and it's hopefully
yeah,
going to
that
help
is-
hold him on there.
That's good techers.
Yeah.
There we go.
I've done this before.
So, the war has begun. Where's it going to be in a few episodes' time? We'll have to find out. And we're probably going to have to get some sellotape involved. But thank you for doing that, guys. Now, it's time to find out whether your player, John Barnes, who's on the wall, that is in the IMO 11. Shall we reveal the results of the vote? Did he take Paolo Di Canio's place? Let's find out. Oh,
Come on! Don't let you are my people. You know. I'm down for you for that.
76.
Hey!
New formation has been set up. We've got 4-2-3-1 now.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, it's a stronger team.
John Barnsley on the left.
Stronger
It's a
team.
stronger team.
But it's got less charisma. A little bit less fascism as well. John Barnes, Del Piero, Zidane behind Alan Shearer. I mean, I like it. And then also another Englishman in there as well. We were a bit short on Englishmen.
Come on, that's solid there.
Fair play. All right, well, that's the team. Next week, someone's going to have to take try and take someone's place in that and bring a new player into it. You guys will decide whether they make it or not. Okay, now it's time for what is fast becoming one of my favourite segments in the show, although it's only 2 shows in, so there's plenty of time for that to change. Stand up for your club. 2 comedians are going to take each other on. Have you ever seen anything like this, Bio?
No, never.
You never have, because it's never happened before. We did it last year, last week. It was the first time it ever happened. We saw Reece James take on Lloyd Griffith. Now, listen, Bio, I need to give you some instructions to this, because you're the judge.
Oh, okay.
Right? True Geordie, last time I felt he went with his heart and not his head. He didn't go on the material. He went with the team I thought, no disrespect to Lloyd, but I thought Spurs did a job on them. And I'm a West Ham fan, that's hard for me to say. But Spurs beat Grimsby, in my opinion. He gave the win to Grimsby. Because they wore black and white like Newcastle. Forget this, because there is a Liverpool part of this, and you're a Liverpool fan.
No, I will not let that
Be neutral.
sway me.
I like that about you. If we need to go to Nash as a special judge, we will, but hopefully Bio's got this on lockdown, but you pay attention. So, we have got Alfie Brown, comedian, representing Liverpool, taking on Mark Smith, Derby. Okay, it's Liverpool versus Derby. We would have seen this in the Premier League years before. We would have seen this, obviously, in FA Cup maybe, League Cup over the years. Don't forget to let us know in the comments what you're thinking of Stand Up For Your Club. Who do you think should win it? But Bio will ultimately have the final say. Hashtag IMOLIVE is the Twitter handle to get Twitter hashtag to get involved with on Twitter. But now the time for talking is done. Let's go to 2 comedians. Alfie Brown and Mark Smith. Stand up for your club. Take it away, lads.
Who's going first?
We've tossed, haven't we?
Okay, me then?
Yep.
All right. Well, as a lowly Derby County supporter, it's just an honour to be talking about a big club like Liverpool. You know, it's a privilege, really, like a huge club with a really great distant history and nothing else.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's
It's also a pleasure for me to be talking about, or to find out that there is a football club in Derby. So, because I thought that was just where there's a gig there, isn't there, on Monday, at a pub called the Blessington, and I think Niall Horan from One Direction has a villa there.
A villa in Derby?
Yeah, villas, don't you?
No. Well, look, I think it's nice to be talking about a big club, but you say big club,
Yep.
right? You always say to me big club, but
Yep.
when was the last time they won the league? The last time they won the league?
I just don't know, is that how...
Yeah, well, listen, right, I've got a list of things that didn't even exist the last time Liverpool won the league, right? The Hubble telescope, laptops, Beauty and the Beast, the film,
not the actual beast.
No, the internet.
Yeah.
Diego Costa, he didn't exist when Liverpool.
Yeah, I think you did really there.
Reality TV.
Okay, yeah.
The band Oasis.
Yeah.
The drink Oasis.
Yeah. Is that...
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
If you're a Derby fan, when you say Derby to me, you're not even the most famous Derby. When you say Derby to me, Derby Football Club, what I think about is Destruction Derby, Terence Trent Derby, the
Well, you're
from the
always
late
thinking
80s,
about those guys.
and the Merseyside Derby is a more famous Derby than Derby FC.
Okay, answering machines.
Yeah,
That's another thing that didn't exist when Liverpool. Answering machines.
Have Derby won the league since the...
Don't need to. Too
You
busy
don't-
shagging birds, mate.
Yeah, me too.
But you know what? I think it's nice though, because I think actually when you think, what might we as a species have accomplished the next time Liverpool do win the league? It could be like thousands of years or whatever. It could be like, we might mutated, like our gills and stuff through evolution. If they're mutants as well, it'd be a perfect sort of fitting tribute to the 2012 Liverpool side. The side that had Shelvey and Skirtle and Suarez and Dirk Kuyt and Jay Spearing, the mutant team of 2012.
What? So
Jay Spearing, by the way, is what I think is the answer to the question, what would it look like if you put a testicle in a football shirt? Google it. If you don't know who Jay Spearing is, Google it.
You're giving me portions about what they look like. Derby.
Portions.
You're giving me portions about what they look like. Derby, if as soon as somebody becomes either worse than 5.5 out of 10, worse than that, Anders Weimann, they leave. Steve McLaren, you got rid of him because he was too good. He had to go to Newcastle and prove what a rubbish manager he was, so you'd let him back in. And it's a depressing thing to have to watch it. Every season you're almost there, but you're never quite there. You're like a hospice for the terminally crap.
Wowzers. But when I was researching this, I did a bit of research and whatever, and also I found out about Liverpool that, I don't know if you know this, but the Beatles actually come from Liverpool. Do you know that?
Really?
Yeah, and I think Scousers should mention that more.
I've been trying to actually, in terms of this, work on a Steve McLaren impression, but I'm finding it really hard to feign somebody with that little charisma.
Steven Gerrard, he can just do that instead.
No, you've got lots of charisma.
Has he?
Yeah.
Fergie time, guys, into Fergie time.
Oh, right, okay then.
Okay, every time Derby and Nottingham Forest play each other, they have the Clough Cup that they pass back and forth to try and create the illusion of some sort of importance. It's like two homeless guys passing the same fiver back and forth to give the illusion of employment. It's pathetic. Johnny Russell. Also, I can't do any jokes about any of your players because nobody's heard of them. It's like trying to slag off the extras in one foot in the grave.
A lot of people say about Liverpool that they're their second favourite team, and I agree with that because in every game they play, they're my second favourite team currently playing.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, also when Derby are singing, this is what every single time I've seen Derby on TV, this is what they sing. They go, "Understand it, I'm from Derby." That's true. It's an alternative fact.
Your best two strikers of recent times have been Robbie Fowler and Suarez, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
That's true. But what's funny about that is they're not even really well known for their goals. They're best known still because other things. For example, one of them's famous because we know about those little nose strips he used to wear, and the other one is sitting somewhere in Barcelona still picking bits of Ivanovic out of his massive teeth.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to leave bits of Ivanovic in there, does he? We've got DVDs of... What?
I think we're gone.
Whistle's blown. Come and join us on the sofa, boys. Fantastic work. Stand up for your club. It's feisty. It's feisty.
This one?
Yeah, one of you there. How'd you find that?
Yeah, it was all right. I just had to read about Derby County, and now I've got to... I mean, I've been on... I'm going to have to go back on the antidepressants.
Mark, did you enjoy that battle?
Really enjoyed it, yeah. Really very straightforward victory.
Do you think you edged it?
Not edged it.
Do you think you won it?
Yeah.
Do you think you won?
Yeah, without a doubt.
No, I think I'd probably have to give it to him. But then the thing is that every single time
he's pointing at me.
Look, this guy. Every single time he's on Twitter, look it up on his. Don't bother looking up his Twitter time.
At Mark Smith Comedy.
Every single time Liverpool lose, he tweets about it. He tweets about Liverpool more than he tweets about Derby. He's obsessed.
We have got both their Twitters in the description, guys. So check them out.
It's my Facebook page, but
it's Facebook page. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
If it doesn't matter what you think, who you thought won or not, because there's only one man that matters, the Beast. Right? Like I said, put the Liverpool supportingness to the side.
Okay.
Who do you think won that battle? Was it Derby or was it Liverpool?
See, it's hard for me because, and don't even try and attack me because I'm real cool with Bradley Johnson. That's my guy, and he plays for Derby. You could have said something about him, by the way. Next time I'd you know what I'm saying? So, and of course, it's easier to because everybody knows about Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
more material.
So it's more material. So
what's the answer, mate? What's the answer?
You won. Shut your mouth.
You rushed him.
Look,
It's a stitch shot. This is a
on
stitch shot.
material, you had more and kind of hit a couple hard hitters. So I'll give it because you had more, but I know what you had to work with, my brother.
So who's, just to clarify, the winner is
I'll have to give it to my
Derby. Mark's on it. Well done, Derby. Big win. Big win. Congratulations, though. Thank you very much for doing that, guys. I enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought in the comments. Now then, on to Super 6. So, Super 6 are our partners for the show, of course. This is the app you can get involved in. Download it for free. There's a link in the description to make 6 predictions of upcoming games. If you get all the scores right, you get £250,000. That's not bad, all right? It's completely free to play. You've got a link to my actual league as well. You can get the pin for my league and join it and actually directly compare yourself to me. Speaking of which, I need to get my phone out for this bit because we need to find out how I did last week. All right, we did the predictions last week. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't have a great week. Okay, let's have a look. Right, Bournemouth-Watford. I predicted 2-1 to Bournemouth. It finished 2-2. No points for me there. Crystal Palace-Everton. I predicted 1-1. Finished 1-0 to Everton, no points for me there. West Ham Middlesbrough, I predicted 1-0 to West Ham. It was 3-1 to West Ham. I don't get maximum points. I didn't get the score right, but I get 2 points for getting the result right. Stoke Man United, I predicted 2-0 to Man United. It was a draw, of course, so no points for me there. West Brom Sunderland, I said 2-1 to West Brom. It was 2-0 to West Brom, so again, I get 2 points for that. Finally, Derby against Reading, I predicted Desmond 2-2, but it was 3-2 to Derby, so no points for it. So I've got 4 points in total. Not great. Interesting fact, though, James Stevens of #United, I think, got 18 points, which I think means he got 3 of them exactly right. I'm not sure exactly what I mean.
Did he put money on it as well?
You can do that, but you can play, like I say, you can play. I'm not sure if he did. I need to find out. But he's on the show next week, I think. So we'll ask him. But yeah, so fair play to anyone that did well last week. I didn't. You might be ahead of me in the league now. Let's take a look at the fixtures for this week. We'll have a little chat about them. See our predictions. Okay, we've actually got an Akinfenwa game in here. Wycombe are involved in one of the fixtures, so we'll come to that last. First of all, so we've got some Premiership games. Oh, this is the FA Cup, of course, aren't they? FA Cup games. Blackburn versus Blackpool. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to go to a Derby fan because you're seeing more of these clubs than anyone else, with all due respect. Yeah. Blackburn, Blackpool, give me some advice. I've got to make the prediction, but you can help me.
Well, I've got a nudge towards Blackburn.
Really? They're in better form?
Yeah, I mean, they're not great, but they've picked up a bit in the last few weeks.
Don't sleep on Blackpool. We played Blackpool last week.
Oh, yeah?
What were they like?
They're all right. We beat them. I'm just saying. But like they're not bad. To be fair, especially if it was at Blackpool, I'd definitely say go Blackpool.
Yeah.
But
home team advantage.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go 1-0 to Blackburn. That's gonna be my prediction. Okay. Let's move on to Chelsea Brentford. Surely this one will be an easy day in the office for Chelsea. A bit of a derby, this one, isn't it? A bit of a West London sort of area thing. Anyone think an upset might happen?
Depends what team Chelsea pick. They might go and pick, you know.
Yeah, if Chelsea have got Liverpool, they've got 2 days rest in between the things, so they could. I mean, it still doesn't. Also, the thing is, it will be harder for Chelsea to G themselves up. Brentford will see it as a derby, and Chelsea will just go, who are we playing?
Was it Brentford who beat Chelsea, actually? I think 1 or 2 seasons ago. I might be wrong about this, but I'm sure Chelsea got beat by Brentford-like team. Bradford, of course, similar name. Anyway, Chelsea-Brentford, I think if I didn't predict Chelsea to win and they won, I'd feel like an idiot because there could have been some easy points. So I'm going to say Chelsea to win 2-0 on that one. Crystal Palace-Man City, really interesting one. Palace are not on good form. Losing again on the weekend, of course. Man City, also, I mean, okay, they were 2-0 up against Spurs, but they threw it away. Two late goals, meaning that Spurs got the point there when Pep should have felt like he was.
But is Pep going to concentrate on the league, or is he going to?
But it's Big Sam not going to concentrate on the league because he needs some points in the league. They're struggling. I've got a feeling I could see him putting out a really weak side. Equally, I remember when he was West Ham boss and we went to City away and he put out a weak side and we got done, I think, 6-0, maybe 5-0. So I'm going to go with City for that one. I'm going to say 3-1 City.
Well, if neither want to play, they should just.
I can see it's an upset for that one because I think it's that irritating thing. Whenever you're struggling for league form, you do well in the cup, and then you sort of thought, irritating. I'd rather have the points. And also, I can see Crystal Palace putting Otamendi or whoever they put in the back in a headlock.
Yeah,
I still think City will win that game.
Yeah, I think again, it's like the Chelsea one. If they City won, I didn't predict it. I'd be annoyed with myself. Lincoln versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Brighton doing well in the Championship, right?
Great, doing great.
I mean, Lincoln, are they going to have enough to take them, or are Brighton going to concentrate on Championship promotion?
You'd have thought so. They'll have too much for Lincoln, I think, still.
Yeah.
Lincoln
2-1 Brighton.
2-1 Brighton.
Lincoln will give them a game.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be
Lincoln will give them a game.
Nash, you're quite good at Super 6. We've got a league together.
Not the last few weeks, though, but
I'm going to trust you on this one, though. I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton on that one, away team. And then we've got Middlesbrough versus Accrington Stanley. Now, Middlesbrough, how much does it mean to them? Again, I think every week goes by, they're falling more into a relegation battle. Accrington Stanley, I'm not going to lie to you, I've got no idea how they're doing. Does anyone know?
They're not doing well.
Who knows?
Not doing well at the moment, but a very good passing team, and they'll play on Middlesbrough's ground. But
this could be our upset.
But I feel like Borough are very solid at the back, though.
They don't concede.
Yeah, that's the thing.
concede
They've
many goals.
conceded is it like something
18 goals or
ridiculous?
something,
It's just losing every game 1-0.
Not scoring enough, basically.
But it's also like they've now got a few more strikers. They've got Just Dead there, haven't they? They've got Bamford. Has Bamford gone there?
Bamford, he's gone somewhere. He signed, I think he might be for Borough.
But they've got like
Have they
3 or 4
binned off
strikers
Jordan
now.
Rhodes yet?
I think he's still there.
No, Roger's still there, but Stuani's started to score.
We've got a lot of average strikers, though. I mean, Negredo is anyone that stands out on paper. But I'm going to go Middlesbrough 1-0 win. Finally, we'll let you have a prediction on this one. Spurs versus Wycombe Wanderers. Okay, 5 goals this season. You've got, I think.
9.
In the league, though, 5.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't include the other ones. No, 9 in total. You're doing quite well. Wycombe in the playoff spots in the league.
Yeah.
You famously, of course, scored at Wembley last season and got AFC Wimbledon up to League One. Do you think you can do it again this year?
Promotion.
You think it's a realistic?
You know what? Like we've been saying, we're going into every game and see where we land up. We're on a 15-game unbeaten run at the moment, so we're in a good place. So it's a lot of games, so there's a lot of games. So.
Well, how does that influence your thoughts on the FA Cup? Is that still a priority? Because lower league teams, it's a big day out.
No, it's a big game. I mean, we got Mansfield in the Checker Trade semi-final, or is it quarter-final tomorrow? So we've got a lot of games. So, but come Saturday, come Friday, we're up for this game, innit? It's White Hart Lane, it's Tottenham there, so we're going to.
You played there before?
Not White Hart Lane, no.
First game at White Hart Lane. We know what you did against Liverpool.
Yes.
You played them, you got yourself a goal against your own team, of course. Team you support.
No.
That was a magical moment. Are we going to see an Akinfenwa goal against Spurs? I would be doing football an injustice, the romance of the cup, if I didn't predict some kind of upset. I'm going Wycombe Wanderers to beat Spurs 2-1. Do it for us, Akinfenwa.
Okay.
All right. Come on.
All right, 2-1. Come on, G.
You're a hat-trick.
I've only had one hat-trick in 15 years. So
Well, you do one. You do one then.
It'd also be a real shame if any Spurs players got injured. Big shame.
They are my predictions, guys. Let me know what you think of them. Obviously, make sure you make your predictions. Interesting fact about last week's competition, right? Obviously, if you get all the scores exactly right, you get £250,000 guaranteed. But if you're one goal away from getting it, Sky often give out £5,000. Now, last week, a West Ham fan like myself missed out on getting every single result right, i.e., 250,000 by 1 goal. You know what goal it was that cost him? Kaleri for West Ham. As a West Ham fan, his own team's goal cost him 250 grand. As a result, the guys from Super 6 got in touch with him and they said, look, we feel really sorry for you. We're not going to give you 5, we're going to give you 10 grand. They doubled it. So there's lots on offer. If you know a little bit about football, probably more than me, because I didn't have a great week last week, you can get yourself some nice prizes. Don't forget to check it out. Okay, we're going to move on now from Super 6. All the links needed in the description. We've got some questions, I think, coming in hopefully from you guys about other topics maybe we haven't discussed so far on the show. We'll have a look at one of the first questions I think we're going to get up here. Here we go. Okay, this is a really interesting one. Ethan O'Gorman, what are your thoughts on Van Basten's rule changes? You've touched on this earlier. Some of these are brilliant, some of these are mental, right? Van Basten, if you don't know who he is, legendary Dutch striker, had to retire from injury a little bit younger than he probably would have liked to, but scored a very famous goal for Holland in, I think, a World Cup. He's now the FIFA Chief Technical Development Officer, and he wants to see certain things come into football. Can we go back to that last tweet, please? It's just on the screen now. Let me go. Hang on, technical difficulties. It's a live show. It will happen. No offside rule is great for a striker to say that. I mean, I'm sure you'd love that, wouldn't you?
Come on now. I'm just going to do chilling in the area. Their area. So, yeah, let's get that one in.
He wants no offside rule. I think, we talked about this off air, didn't we? It's like, obviously, he said, I'd love to see football without an offside rule, see what happens. I've got a feeling they tried it when football started and they were like, it's rubbish.
There's a reason it came in.
Stand at the other end, exactly. I mean, didn't it used to be an extra player, didn't it, back in the day? It used to have technically 3 players to be offside because you include the goalkeeper. Now it's 2 with the goalkeeper. So they actually made the offside rule less kind of prominent. But yeah, no offside rule I think is a bit crazy. Introducing sin bins and orange cards, I could potentially get behind. I think sometimes there are things that happen in a match which you don't want to send someone off for, but they're a little bit more than a yellow.
But that's not changing the game itself, is it? Like,
no, it's not.
The structure of the game has changed with the offside rule, but with the sin bins and orange cards, I can see that happening.
So you're saying that an incident happens, a tackle which is borderline,
yeah,
and you're like,
5 minutes.
Not enough, go 5 minutes and go chill yourself.
What do you think? You don't like that?
What? No. So you're going to have to 5 minutes, then you have to try and warm up again, then you have to run back. No.
No, but they could put you on a little, they do it in other sports, you go on a little bike or something to keep warm. The thing is, you've got to think about both ways, Bio. Like, you're thinking, oh no, I would have got yellow, I would have played on, but you might have got a red. It might be instead of a red.
For me, like, don't get twisted, and I've been involved in stupid decisions where I've been sent off for no reason, but it would just change the dynamic of the games with
I
stuff
wouldn't,
like that.
I wouldn't have it, but it's not as extreme as an offside rule.
No, it's not. It wouldn't.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
not
no
extreme,
offside rule,
but then you
mad.
say you like things where a player gets sent off and then it's talking points.
Yeah, I mean, I think there'll still be talking points, but I could get behind that one not coming in. The next two are interesting. No extra time. He wants, instead of penalties, he's not mentioned there, but he actually wants the hockey-style penalties, which I think could be unbelievable entertainment. There's loads of different ways you could do it.
With sticks?
It's basically where you start on the halfway line. You're one-on-one with the keeper.
Yeah,
A little bit like the end of the hashtag challenge.
American penalties he used to call
Yeah,
it.
exactly. American penalties. Then you've got to score, and it goes on until you don't score. I think Sepp Blatter also proposed another idea, which was based on, instead of extra time, you'd have every minute or so you'd lose a player.
Yeah.
And it would slowly go from 11 aside.
Yeah,
to
that's
10
a nice.
aside.
I like that idea. But also, what I'd like is just get rid of replays. Don't make me watch Liverpool Plymouth twice.
Yeah.
Like that's sorry.
Don't make any of us watch that.
No,
I think they've
not-
got rid of some this year, haven't they? They've made less replays in their
But what's the advantage of doing the American style shootouts?
more entertaining,
Halfway.
because I think what it is penalty shootouts are still deemed unfair to go out on. Like, it's one kick of the ball, whereas there's a lot more skill involved in a one-on-one. Do you choose to go around the keeper? Do you choose to bang it from distance? But let's move on from that. We can all agree Van Basten's got some good ideas and he's got some daft ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll see what else we've got from other people. Kieran Kelly says the refereeing standards have been poor all season and this week topped it off. I mean, yes. So I know Pep Guardiola wasn't happy. The Kyle Walker push on Raheem Sterling. By the letter of the law, that's a red card all day long. The ref didn't even see it. Is this not... I mean, I feel like we're saying the same thing every week now, but why is technology not in football? Like, why... That decision could... How quickly did we see that replay on TV? That decision could have been changed in 10 seconds. The game, no one had a complaint about it. Tottenham could not have complained about it because he pushed him.
Yeah, well, that was a straightforward one. But there's so many where you're still talking about it 2 weeks later with replays, and you're like, well, you couldn't have worked
Yeah,
that
but
out at the time.
then with those ones you just leave it and you go. That's the same thing with cricket. With cricket, you have it's to basically back up. If you've made an absolute howler
yeah.
in cricket, then they go, sorry mate, that's actually wrong.
Yeah.
So if you've been shoved in the back, or if by some weird twist of fate Mike Dean happens to be refereeing, you can get technology in so he doesn't matter anymore.
Well, why is it fair that he gets demoted, Mike Dean, and goes to the Championship, where it's just as difficult to referee?
Well, it's
don't
deemed
understand
less... It's deemed... Yeah, I sort of agree with you, but it's deemed less high profile.
Yeah.
And I think, as we covered earlier, you're of less consequence.
A Liverpool
Why
fan.
didn't you say that?
As a footballer...
Say that before, you would have won.
I've got
We
it.
talk about you as a Liverpool fan, but you also represent the lower leagues, and so you can relate to that side.
Look, this is what I'm saying. Of course, we're not as high profile. There's not many cameras, but we still train every week. It still means points. It's managers still get sacked. It's livelihoods. So I think it's a disrespect when they just been like, because we're
You'd rather just ban him altogether.
It is a disrespect, but ultimately it's about money, isn't it? Because if the money that kind of shifts between Man City and Tottenham based on a result going one way or not the other, and if you want to live in, this, then that's what happens, is that money makes the bigger difference, makes the bigger consequence, and means he goes down to the Championship.
I guess there's less refs. Maybe
You've been so bad, Mike Dean, we're going to put you in the Championship. That's insane.
And you still get paid.
insulting
It's the
for him
same.
to do
It's
it.
like, if you make a mistake, you should be held accountable.
If you had a shocker, you'd get dropped.
Yeah, so you should be. So it shouldn't be like, all right, you know what? You're not going to do the Prem this week. You're going to go do the Champ, and then next week you're going to come back to the Prem. A ban's a ban.
But also,
affect your pocket.
They put him on the most high-profile game of the weekend. It was on Sky.
Yeah, that was
on
madness,
Friday night.
wasn't it?
Mike Dean loves that sort of
Also,
stuff.
wasn't that a derby as well?
Yeah, Barnsley Leeds, yeah.
Let us know what you think about Mike Dean. I think I'm with Mark on this one. I think if you're having a bad week, you get some time off referee. You don't just get put in a different league. We'll see about that. Next up, we've got the social challenge. We didn't do this last week. This is a challenge we're going to set at the end of every show for you guys to take part in. And next week, we'll reveal the winners. They'll feature in the show and we'll give a prize to our favourite. This week's challenge is all about hashtagging it, right? Paul Nash, would you like to demonstrate the official conduct? Yeah, that's correct, because I've seen you do it the other way before. I like that. You're doing it properly this time. The official way is right hand over left. You want to do it with me? Bio Johnson involved there? That's it. Let's get, we can get selfie if there's everyone hashtagging it. The camera now. So 1, 2, 3. That's an option. Okay, the challenge for this week is we want you guys to hashtag it wherever you're from around the world. Send us your picture using hashtag IMOLIve. The most unique ones, the most creative ones, the ones in the most amazing scenery, whatever, will get featured on the show next week, and we'll choose a favourite, and that person will get a prize. So you just got to hashtag it in some crazy places. Before we finish the show, it's time for the mass debate results. Is Wayne Rooney the best England player of all time? Before we go, what did you guys think on that? Rooney, yes or no?
No.
Who's yours?
Probably Scholes. I think people get caught up in games.
As a player, yeah, but not for England, though.
Oh yeah, he's the best the best English player of all time.
We're going to get bogged down here.
Yeah.
Right, what do you think? Yes or no?
You can argue for, but Yeah, I'd go with.
You go, yeah.
Oh,
All right.
God.
The question is, did you guys at home think? I've got an idea in my head what you're going to say, but is Wayne Rooney the best England player of all time according to the hashtag IMOLIVE audience? Let's find out. He is. He's it.
Well done, Wes.
Come on.
Wayne, I hope that makes you feel better, because I've got a feeling Wayne's sitting at home right now. I don't know if he's watching.
He's watching.
But if he
Definitely
is,
watching.
I've got a feeling he's sitting at home, and I think he'll be super happy with the achievement he's got to in his career. Done something that no one in his life that's alive has ever done, right? And he'll have a little bit in his heart that makes him think, it doesn't quite feel right. I don't feel like I'm getting the recognition I deserve. Hopefully this shows we love you, Wayne. 56% think you're the best England player ever. Well done. And thank you to everyone that voted that. I mean, hopefully our chatting about it helps sway them. I don't know. Well, that's what IMO is all about. We gave our opinion, you guys gave yours. That's it for this show. Big thanks to all my guests. We've got Alfie, we've got Mark, we've got Paul, and we've got the big man himself, Akinfenwa. Check out all their links in the description. And of course, we've got another show next week. Keep your comments coming in. Let us know what you want us to talk about all week long using hashtag IMOLive. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. Check out Super 6 and NCS. The links in the description. Until next time, I'll see you when you're older. Don't go changing. Bye-bye.